Welcome along to this huge night for GBM Sports. Live on DAZN, this is the YouTube channel. 7 o'clock. The big card, but we kick off here with Haris Akbar, very good amateur, followed by Amar Akbar, good young pro, Reese Mould, looking to rebuild, and Taz Nadeem, one of the most exciting prospects in the country. That's the lineup for the YouTube version on DAZN. Then we'll be flicking over to the at 7 p.m. Let's get the action straight underway with Aki Karim.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the Cannon Medical Arena here in Sheffield, the home of Sheffield Sharks, for an evening of championship boxing, presented to you by Izzy Azif and GBM Sports, and proudly sponsored by Harley Private Dental, Bravos, Eco Power Group, AIX Capital, Indus Restaurants, Skyrise Real Estate Dubai, and Best Western Sheffield. You join us this evening for a 12-fight card featuring some outstanding talent and explosive matchups. We have 2 title fights for you this evening, culminating in our main event of the evening, 10 rounds of boxing for the IBF European title. And of course, we are live and exclusive worldwide on the home of boxing, DAZN. Please don't forget to follow GBM Sports social media platforms for all backstage action from this evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our first contest of the evening, 4 3-minute rounds sanctioned in the super welterweight division. Please welcome into the ring first from Glossop, Derbyshire, Jack Swallow.
Jack Swallow from Glossop, and he's had 4 fights, so a real opportunity. There he is with Jumbo, always good to have on the fighting circuit. Jumbo and Jack, the pair in the red corner.
And now please welcome his opponent, coming to us from Bradford, Yorkshire. It's Haris Hurricane Akbar.
So here comes the Hurricane. He's 26, very good amateur. Struck gold in the Europeans. Quality operator. Signed by Queensbury and on this big GBM show tonight. Oscar Bevis with me tonight. Fantastic to see you, my friend, and it should be a really, really interesting evening.
Yeah, there's something special about GBM nights. There's something in the air, a little bit of magic. I know that tonight's going to be really entertaining. And just on a personal note, can I say what a pleasure to spend my Saturday night with you. I looked up to you, now you've become a mentor and a friend, so delighted, if anyone, that I get to spend my Saturday night calling the fights with yourself.
Thanks, Oscar, really appreciate that. Should be a fantastic night ahead. Haris Akbar and Jack Swallow Aki to get proceedings underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is presented to you by Izzy Azif and GBM Sports. We are live worldwide on the home of boxing, DAZN. Your officials for this contest, your timekeeper will be Anthony Rushton, your referee is Mark Downing, and scoring at ringside is Reese Carter. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the sky blue shorts. He weighed in at 11 stones and 12 ounces and comes to the ring with a record consisting of 3 wins against 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. He comes to us from Glossop, Derbyshire. Please welcome Jack Swallow. And his opponent fights out of the blue corner and wears the black and gold. He weighed in at 11 stone, 2 pounds and 1 ounce and comes to the ring unbeaten with 1 win against no defeats. Presenting to you a former European Games gold medalist from Bradford, Yorkshire, Haris Hurricane Akbar.
Right, boys, you both know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Listen to my instructions and make sure you protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, back to your corners.
So the 4-round sprint distance in the super welterweight division. Haris Akbar in fight number 2. It'll be good to have a look at him. Such a quality amateur now based in the Steel City Gym, about 500 yards up the road from this Cannon Medical Arena. And in with Jack Swallow, who's younger by 6 years. He's 20. The novice from Derbyshire, who's got a winning record as well, but Akbar's quality, Oscar.
Yeah, and it looks like he's leaving no time for Jack Swallow to even rest in that ring. One thing I really enjoy about some of the fights you get early on in the night is you've got prospects and fighters who need to and want to show up. I've been a paying customer before. If you're paying your hard-earned money, if you're putting your plans on hold for a Saturday night, you want to walk away and go, Haris Akbar impressed me. And it looks like that's his immediate plan in there tonight.
Excellent body shots early, especially with the left hook, and there's a right hand as well, and Swallow's under pressure. The heat intense in the first minute of the opening round, and Akbar desperate to impress here. He brought a few fans from Bradford, based out of Sheffield, but he has that base of support, the fans that you need when you're a young pro hoping to go places. Good work from Swallow. If he's not overawed here by the pedigree of Akbar, then it'll be interesting to see if he gets settled. But it's fiery at the moment from Akbar.
Yeah, it might only be 4 rounds scheduled, but if he's going to keep up this pace, he'll have to have some tank to follow. He's enjoying it, Swallow.
Spitting out defiance, but there is some marking around the left eye. Tries to get his body shots away, but Akbar's pressure. It's some start from him. Will he be able to sustain it?
I spoke about wanting to impress the fans. There'll also be an elder gentleman somewhere in Islington with his slippers on, watching on, wondering what he's going to get from Haris Akbar tonight. So there's a few eyes. He's started really, really well, really quickly, real intent. But Swallow seems to be taking what Haris Akbar's bringing so far.
It's game, isn't he? Swallow, body shots, one to the head as well. It's a big opening round this from Haris Akbar. But Jack Swallow's digging deep, and he's finding out how hard it is as a young novice when you're coming out of the away corner and you've got a winning record. But this will test Akbar as well. He wants a rest, says Grant Smith in the corner. He's got Grant and Sonny Edwards and Dalton Smith. What a team in that blue corner for Haris Akbar.
It's not a bad corner if it ever did kick off. Just an ex-world champion in the future now.
Round of applause from Izzy Asif, who's taken his seat in the centre of the front row alongside Mitch Costello and Peter Fury. Plenty of boxing names coming tonight. Callum Simpson, the British and Commonwealth and European super middleweight champion, messaged me earlier. He can't wait for it. Maxie Hughes will be in the house. I'm not sure we'll see Dave Allen, though, a couple of weeks away from his big night.
I hope so. I know he was training hard in Manchester today. Looks in brilliant shape, even shaved the beard. That's how you know Mr. Allen means business. Yeah, really excited to see who turns up, see who we can get on as the third man and have some fun and watch some fights. I was going to say this is a pocket, Sheffield, for where you can get real fighting talent, but it's wider than Sheffield. The north of England has produced some of the country, some of Britain, some of Europe's and the world's best fighters. And I know there'll be some big names walking through the Cannon Medical Arena doors tonight.
Second round, Haris Akbar in the glittering black shorts with the black boots and the light blue and pink on the waistband of Glossops Jack Swallow, JS there. 20 years of age. Weighed in slightly lighter at 154 pounds, 156 for Akbar in the super welterweight division. Swallow has one defeat on his record. Haris Akbar unbeaten, turned over in May against Fabian Grattini, and he's looking for another big win here to really kickstart the pro journey.
Lovely left hand by Haris Akbar, ate well by Jack Swallow.
Had around about 100 amateur fights, Akbar. And he's on a transition well with his body shots. No better gym than the Steel City with Grant and Sonny giving the instructions both in the gym and on the night. Nothing they don't know about boxing.
There's a fountain of knowledge in that corner. If they can pass even a crumb onto Haris Akbar, then he'll have a successful professional career. I'm really enjoying the variation between head and body. I'd like to see a little bit more pop in the shots, whether that means planting the feet or not, 'cause it looks like what he's thrown at Jack Swallow so far, he's not going to say content with, but I think he knows he can take the fire that's been thrusted at him.
Swallow back, but his hook's not with the same intent maybe as Akbar, or the accuracy. It's that really good jab he's got, the Hurricane, who had that in the amateurs, but hand speed's good as well. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. Well done, Jack. Out of that red corner, he's got plenty of bottle, plenty of spirit coming in as the away fighter, trying to spoil the party, rip up the script over this short sprint distance.
You talk about the exciting fights he could be, and this is brewing into a pretty tasty 4 rounds. As it is, sometimes these fights are going to tick over and they pass, and the home fighter gets a win on their record. But
Oscar, good body shot with the left hand from Akbar. He felt that, did Jack Swallow, and he banged his heart as if to show, look, I'm all right, but he definitely had an effect there on the legs. That was well placed from Akbar.
Yeah, he felt that. Definitely felt that. Jack Swallow.
And a right hand up through the middle as well. And he's looking good here, Haris Akbar. 2 in the bank.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the tempo of the 2 rounds too. Will be interesting to see if he can keep that tempo for rounds 3 and potentially round 4 if we do get there. But as you alluded to, Adam, there was that left to the body that Swallow definitely felt. Just trying to gauge from his corner how he feels now. He looks like he's there, he's with his senses, and Haris Akbar with a smile. I know he'll be very happy with the 2 rounds that he's had so far.
Grant Smith living and breathing every moment.
10 seconds, corners.
I think he wants more body shots.
Seconds out. Round 3.
Box out of the Bradford Police, now with the Steel City gym. Haris Akbar, 26 years of age. His 2nd pro outing, 2nd half of this one. In with the tough Jack Swallow, who has kept busy this year. From Ashton under Line, now just have a Gloucester in Derbyshire.
You mentioned Haris gorging himself down at the Steel City gym. It's a brilliant place to begin life as a professional. I've been down there recently filming with a lot of fighters down there, and their sparring is real doghouse sparring. You're 1-0, you're 10-0, you're 20-0, you're treated the same. It's real tough sparring, back of the head, sometimes going to war. It's a gym where you can really learn how to act and behave and fight as a professional.
Doubling up with that left hand, really impressive there. Akbar, he's got some good moves. He's just settled that uppercut as well. He's trying a few things out in there. He was a little bit gung-ho in that opening round, and just planting his feet a bit more, looking for the shots, placing them well to head and to body. Swallow Swallow just can't make any sort of real impression. Can't keep Akbar off him. But he's tough.
Again, good.
Yeah, you can't escape him. He's like a fly around dirt, Haris Akbar.
That's exactly what he can't. He can't escape him. The ring looking pretty small for Jack Swallow. Backed up onto the ropes, and Akbar hunting his man down. It's this continuous velocity of punches.
I just saw Haris take a quick glance to his corner and a nod of approval from Grant Swift, who seems very happy with the way that this third has panned out.
Yeah, I think this is his best round so far. Just from the fact he's slowed the tempo down. Really finding the accuracy now, Akbar. All behind that jab and whipping in the body shots too. He's got to eat it up, Jack Swallow. Very, very game.
You say he's got to swallow it up?
There you go. Has to.
I'm here all night. Unfortunately for you guys. What's impressed me as well is you mentioned that this is all off the jab. It's easy when you're having this success. You get a bit messy. You can almost start windmilling shots in for the sake of it. Still behind.
Whipped in a left hook to the body there, Oscar, and just jabs downstairs too. That's really clever from Haris Akbar. Mad dog on the back of Swallow's trunks. That's what he is, really. He's a very, very hard customer. A novice with a winning record doesn't want to get beaten, and he's trying his best in there. Akbar's best round.
Yeah, he's got better as the fight's gone on, like I said, after the second. I'll reiterate it now. I'm really impressed with the tempo. He did slow it down the touch, but again, I'll reiterate what I just said. Everything's still behind that jab. It isn't messy. He's not looking for shots. He's throwing in volume, but he's doing it all off the back of that jab, which has been very, very strong.
Final round. It's been a good watch, this. An excellent start to a terrific night in store on GBM here in Sheffield. And we're watching the Steel City's Haris Akbar in his second fight. He's been pretty good. Won every round against Jack Swallow. He's 26, Oscar, so they're going to have to move him fairly quickly. They can't hang around.
Yeah, just like him tonight, he's really not hanging around. It's been centre ring, it's been pure pressure. Moments where it's been real survival mode from Jack Swallow. And I know that just from the way Grant's kind of calling him forward, now ushering him forward, I feel like they might believe that there could be a stoppage on in this fourth round.
No sign of him wilting though, Jack Swallow, and he's been hit around the body hard tonight. Just looking to see if he can finish the show in real style here, Haris Akbar. But he's been entertaining, and he's been well, quality as well. You can see why he was such a good amateur. There's the right hand too. And the body shot, and yeah, it's getting harder now for Jack Swallow. You wonder if this was over 6, whether he'd get through it.
Yeah, it was good to see the patience. There's all good and well backing Jack Swallow into a corner and throwing in 3s and 4s, but a little bit of patience, a brilliant counter right hand. Now he really is trying to go to town to that body.
Yes, good work here from Haris Akbar. Uppercut as well, getting tough for Jack Swallow. He's got just over a minute to survive. Referee having a closer look. Head being snapped back a bit by the jab. I wouldn't have thought the corner would have wanted this for 6 rounds the way it's gone. It's been game from Swallow, but it has been one way. He's won every round, Akbar. He's just too good for him.
Yeah, and he's exuding that confidence now. I think he knows with just under a minute to go, he can enjoy final stages of this fight. There's a little pep in the step, throwing out that jab, looks confident, looks sharp. Been a really, really impressive 4 rounds.
Bradford gave us Junior Witter, Bobby Vanzi back in the day. There's a fight following. Yorkshire absolutely flying with prospects and really good champions too. It's a fantastic area in the country to be a fighter, and Haris Akbar has performed really well here tonight over 4 rounds. He's shown us what he can do. He hasn't let off Jack Swallow from the opening bell, and he's finishing with a fantastic flurry too. Yep, Akbar was good tonight. He'll become 2-0, and Jack Swallow, well, he was second best, not in terms of commitment and courage. He can go back with his head held very high, and Jumbo will tell him that. Yeah, he did well tonight, Jack Swallow, because he was a top amateur, Haris Akbar. It was always a tough encounter for Swallow, and Akbar was good. And he's one to watch, Oscar.
Yeah, really impressed with what we saw tonight. You get what you deserve in the sport of boxing, and Jack Swallow completing them 4 rounds, I think, is only right. He stood up to what Haris Akbar had, but like you said, there's just that touch of class, that little shimmer. He could be really in really, really exciting fights, and he's definitely one to watch.
Shakes his head, Jack Swallow doesn't need to. He was value for money in there, and he tried his best. But it's Haris Akbar who will get the win by a wide margin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers. After 4 rounds of boxing, we go to Reese Carter's scorecard, which reads 40 points to 36 points in favor of your winner from Bradford, Yorkshire, Haris Hurricane Akbar.
Yeah, well done to Haris Akbar and to Jack Swallow. Good opener for this big night in Sheffield. Good to see the respect between the pair. Good matchmaking, Oscar.
Yeah, really good matchmaking. It's easy when you're a prospect who's just starting out his professional career, regardless of whether you had that real amateur experience and background. It's easy to go in with opponents who perhaps don't give you too much. Jack Swallow gave a bit tonight.
Dalton and Sonny, fantastic team, and smiles all round. Haris Akbar remains undefeated, and he's a young prospect to watch. What did you like particularly tonight?
I like the composure. I'll go back again to what I've said a couple of times. It was all off the jab. It'd be easy when you see little bits of success to just throw to the head, throw to the body, throw in big volley, but it was all off the jab, very, very composed.
Yeah, really good body shots from Haris Akbar tonight. Decent jab, right hand through the uppercut as well. There was lots of variety from Akbar, and I think he was pleased with his performance. He shone under the lights early doors. Okay, back to Aki. Let's keep this action flowing.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is 6 3-minute rounds sanctioned in the super welterweight division. Please welcome into the ring from Querétaro, Mexico, Zurdo Eduardo Vera Sanchez.
Zurdo, not Zurdo Ramirez, of course, but another one. Eduardo Vera Sanchez is our visitor tonight, and an experienced one as well.
And now please welcome his opponent from Dewsbury, Yorkshire, the prodigy, Amar Akbar.
The return of the prodigy, good young fighter. walk number 9 for Amar Akbar from Batley, Dewsbury area of Yorkshire. Another hot prospect from these parts, Oscar.
Well, there seems to be a production line. Wonder if we can find that. I feel like there must be a factory somewhere just rolling out talent after talent. Really excited to see what Amar can do. Like you said, ring walk number 9. I've been ringside for a few of Amar's fights. He's slick, he's composed, and I'm hoping to see more of that tonight.
This contest is presented to you by Izzy Azif and GBM Sports, and we are live worldwide on the home of boxing, DAZN. Your officials for this contest, timekeeper Anthony Rushton, and your referee in charge of the action is A-star referee John Latham. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black shorts. He weighed in at 11 stone and 2 pounds. He comes to the ring with 15 professional contests, and he comes to us from Querétaro, Mexico, Zurdo Eduardo Vera Sanchez. And his opponent across the ring fights out of the blue corner and wears the black, blue and gold shorts. He weighed in at 10 stone, 11 pounds and 5 ounces. And comes to the ring with a perfect record, 8 wins, no losses, and one of those wins comes by way of knockout. He comes to us from Dewsbury, Yorkshire. Please welcome the prodigy, Amar Akbar.
Tell you to break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
One of our leading referees, John Latham. Good to see him in charge of this one. Amar Akbar, who's been a little frustrated with an activity, but he's kept himself ticking over in the gym. And he is a talent, quality fighter. Got good support as well, who join in from Dewsbury in the blue with the gold tassels, towering over Eduardo Vera Sanchez, fighting out of a southpaw style from Mexico. A couple of years younger, but he's had more fights. That's what normally happens in Mexico. They turn them early. I think Manuel Medina was 14 when he turned professional, something like that, the former IBF champion.
I think I could just about tie my shoelaces. No, I was there when Amar made his debut. It was behind closed doors in 2021. Studio setting, there was real hype and excitement around his debut, and of course during them COVID shows, complete silence during the fight. It was a strange time, but yeah, he's been plagued with bits of inactivity. It's a strange job in professional boxing. You can be a professional boxer, and yet I think over the 5 years of his career, 4 years, only had 8 fights. So that is something that he will want to put right, get active and get some good wins under his belt and show people what he's about and get that hype rolling again.
Yeah, now with GBM and Izzy Asif, so a platform. Originally with Frank Warren, but I think being up here in the northwest, maybe just needed a new platform. He's got one, but of course joins Queensbury on DAZN. Funny how everyone is under one umbrella, really. Frank, Eddie, Izzy. It's only Ben on BBC and the Salons on Channel 5, and we wait to see what Sky do. Going forwards, they will be a big part, I'm sure, in the boxing landscape. It's all happening in our sport, and Amar Akbar will just be looking to keep some momentum now with his career. Maybe get another one in before Christmas and hopefully break through in 2026.
Yeah, he'll have his eyes on some of the area level titles, some of the English titles, some of the British title eliminators. These fighters always know what's going on. They always check and observe around their weight division, and I know that he'll be thinking that if it's not late this year, early next year, he'll want titles.
Just slipping and sliding, Vera Sanchez. It's proving tricky. He doesn't win many, but he can be tough to shift. And Akbar will be looking to get some rounds in. Really holding the centre of the ring, just getting a tad frustrated Akbar. Different target, the lower, smaller Vera Sanchez.
Yeah, he knows every trick in the book. As soon as Akbar gets even remotely in range, he'll go into the clinch, try and ruffle the back of his head, try and hold on to his shorts. Just these little tricks that veterans of several fights know how to do. Frustration tactics, really, from Vera, and Akbar will want just a little more in that second round, a few openings to appear also, but he won't be too disheartened. He's popped out the jab, he's looked lively in spurts.
Second round of this one. Amar Akbar, fight number 9. He's undefeated. In with Eduardo Vera Sanchez. Good jab from Akbar. That's what he had in the amateurs, Oscar. Good pedigree. And that's why he caught the eye early of the big promoters.
Yeah, everything sets off of that jab. You can spot someone who's got that amateur pedigree a mile off, especially in the early stages of their career. There's a sharpness, there's an accuracy about the jab, as they say. It's the jab that will take you around the world.
6th fight of the year for Vera Sanchez, keeping busy. Got a draw back in March against a prospect, Christian Alexis Salazar Sanchez. And the last win was August of 24, so very much the journeyman coming over because Akbar needs rounds. That activity that's so important for a young fighter. And he's 25 now.
Yeah, you can't stress the importance of momentum in the professional game, and especially at this point in your career where you're not in 10 rounders, 12 rounders, you're not in title fights. You want ideally to be getting out quite regularly over the space of 12 months.
Look the way he doubles up the jab, whips over the right hand. Caught the eye of Buddy McGirt, who's done some work with him in the past. Akbar really rates him highly, Buddy, and that's a big stamp of approval from one of the best trainers in the world.
One of the best characters in the sport. So I love Buddy.
One of the best former fighters in the sport.
Yeah,
wow,
absolutely.
he was some technician back in his day. Newman on the back of Amar's trunks. That's his brother, who sadly passed back in 2014 on this day as well. And it's an anniversary, which is obviously very tough for the family, but he takes his brother's spirit with him. And yeah, he's had his fair share of difficulties to deal with over the years, Amar. It's really good to see him as a young professional. And yeah, evoking memories tonight. So tough one for him, but he's sort of got to just get on with the job, hasn't he?
Yeah, it'll make the win tonight even sweeter, and he'll know that. But meanwhile, there's a job to do, and there's been a different patience in the second round because he knows about the tricks that I mentioned, the tricks in the clinch that Vera has. There's been a bit more of a patience, and he's landed a couple of very flush right hands.
Good officials tonight. Howard Foster just walked past me. One of the more famous faces around British boxing. John Latham in the ring. And there is Izzy Asif alongside Peter Fury. Good friends they are. And how far Izzy has come in, what, 3.5 years? I've been around him for the last couple, and it's been a fun ride.
It's been a really fun ride. I went to show number 1 at the Magno in Rotherham, where, funny enough, Janae Boston made his debut. Not many people know that little GBM fact. It's been a really fun 3.5 years. He's a big personality, bubbly personality. I think he knew the camera was on him, by the way. I'm not having him say otherwise.
I think he knows exactly when the camera's on him. I remember being in New York recently at the Ring Show in Queens, and I looked down and Izzy was chatting to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, so he knows how to get into places, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a country, a city, an arena that I haven't seen Izzy in the last 3.5 years. I see him recently in Saudi Arabia when he was out there for Moses. A town with brilliant performance against certainly on many occasions.
Yep, done very well with GBM. Good shows and a real chance for prospects and 50-50 title fights as well. We've got a couple of really good ones later on tonight with Ben Crocker and Sean Mccomb, and Tracy Gallagher defending her super bantamweight belts against the excellent Ellie Hellawell. Meanwhile, Amar Akbar tending to things here against this awkward Eduardo Vera Sanchez from Mexico. He's lost his last 4. He's been over before. 14 Gardner in London at the York Hall Bethnal Green. Just got plenty going on this weekend, the York Hall, and we're there on DAZN in a few weeks' time for a fabulous fight with Conway and Liddard. Really looking forward to that one.
York Hall is the spiritual home of British boxing. It just stinks of boxing. I'm quite sure what boxing actually smells, but there's something you get when you walk into York Hall. And I said there's something you get when these GBM fighters are walked into the door tonight, knowing that something special will happen over the next 5 or 6 hours.
Yep, this Cannon Medical Arena in Sheffield has produced some great action over the last couple of years. Amar Akbar looking to remind us of his skills, his talent here. There's the jab again, poking it out. Good work though from Sanchez back. Just pops in the odd reminder, doesn't he? Cowers in the neutral corners and counters with these hooks. Just one of these difficult journeymen to look good against.
Yeah, he'll feel slightly frustrated so far, and that's just because of the lack of opportunities that present itself. But then the onus is on you. If you can't find those gaps, it's on you to feint, to double up the jab and make those opportunities present themselves.
Good work from Vera Sanchez. Last 30 seconds of that round, he woke up.
See the success he is having when he throws that sharp jab. I sense a little bit of frustration and agitation in his corner, Amar Akbar, but 3 rounds still to stamp your authority. He's won the first 3 so far clearly as well, but another 3 still there to stamp your authority on this fight and on this evening.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds out. Round 4.
Second half of this one, super welterweight division. We're watching prospect Amar Akbar, who's won all 8 so far. Just the 1 stoppage. He'd love another one here, but this Eduardo Vera Sanchez knows his way around the ring. He's only been a pro a couple of years, but he's been really busy. And I think that might be the difference here. All the skills and the quality with Akbar, but the fact that Vera Sanchez has had so many fights of late and Akbar hasn't, sort of just about levels up the playing field a bit. Yeah, he's losing the rounds, Vera Sanchez, but he's still there.
Yeah, think how many times he would have just sat in the changing room readying for a fight, stepped through the ropes, readied himself for the first bell. Just the processes that lead up to the fight itself. Vera Sanchez has done much more than Amar Akbar over the last 12 to 18 months.
Body shot from Akbar was good, but he's got livelier here, Vera Sanchez. I think he's found his foothold in the fight. He's being backed up in the blue corner, which isn't his, but there's a smile now. He's starting to enjoy it in there. Maybe he feels Akbar can't really hurt him.
Yeah, I felt there was real belief behind that last left hand that he threw in comparison to any of the bigger shots that he was throwing in the first three. Still falling over his front foot a little bit when he's throwing there. Wild would be a fair assessment.
There's something wrong with his
shots,
there's some sort of problem maybe with his...
Okay, yeah. Catch me. It's only accidental. You okay? Yeah.
Is it his protector? Is it his leg?
Yeah, it's okay.
Something didn't seem right. He's just shaking himself out. Did one stray low that we missed, Oscar?
Must have been a quick one.
I thought he was settled down and beginning to relax into this. Just a distress signal from Eduardo Vera Sanchez.
I don't think him and his corner will mind that too much. Anything that can put Amar Akbar out of any rhythm that he's trying to build will really be going in Vera Sanchez's favour. I'm still trying to work out what it was that brought that discomfort on.
Well, I just glance outside the ring because one of the best fighters of recent times around these parts, the Leeds warrior Josh Warrington, has taken his place. He'll be here to watch Reese Mould, one of the three musketeers, along with Maxie Hughes, who's part of our broadcast team tonight. Excellent guys. And I wonder if there's one left for Josh Warrington, maybe a Mccomb.
There has to be one left. There can't not be. He's given us too many big nights. He's too well supported, and he's too good to not give us one big final dance. I fancy Mccomb at Madison Square Garden.
He looks in good shape over there, Josh. Alongside Izzy, having a chat. Turns southpaw meanwhile, Amar Akbar. Good work, and his fans like that. They always make some noise. The Batley boys.
Really good left hand when he switched to the southpaw stance there from Amar Akbar. Looks a lot more composed in that corner than he did after round two, when, like I said, there was slight agitation at the, I guess, lack of opportunities that were being presented his way. Still some discomfort from Vera Sanchez. I think he's laughing it off as he readies to come out for round 5.
6 minutes left, and he's elected to stay out of the port side southpaw stance. Amar Akbar, he's trying things out tonight, isn't he? And why not?
Yeah, when you've got time in the ring in a fight that you know you're comfortable in, you know that, you know, barring something extraordinary, you will be victorious in. There's no harm in trying to switch of the stance, trying some new combinations and seeing what works.
Now back to orthodox against the southpaw, Vera Sanchez. Another Zerdo. We know one of them.
A little bit smaller than the other Zerlo.
Just a bit.
Dare I say.
A little bit less talented too. Right hand from Akbar. What has he got to do? Is it just a case of getting the rounds under his belt, or has he got to make a little statement here so people remember him?
Not that you let the fight slip away, but I think you continue doing what you're doing, plus add a higher volume of shots. I like the intent. He's concentrating, he's waiting for his opportunities, but I think just up the intent a little. I don't think he's doing too much wrong.
Good work there. I've seen him spar a few times. Akbar, he's a decent fighter, really good amateur, just needs a bit of sparkle, something to get everybody talking about him. There's many prospects coming through in British boxing, and he just wants to be reminding not just Izzy Asif, but everybody around what he can do, because, as you say, 26, there could be area titles, English belts, and he's got to work those. He's unbeaten, but he's got to work into those positions, isn't he?
Yeah, and if you impress as well, then the promoter's much more likely to want to put you in those positions, have you higher up on the cards, have you on the main broadcast fighting in these title fights.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of fans who play their drums, and there's a lot to like about him. He's a great guy outside of the ring, but you just need something different. Maybe he doesn't have the power, but he's in with journeyman at the moment, and it could be the case of fighters that really want to come and fight, and the better fighters will bring the best out of Amar Akbar. Certainly that way in the amateurs. But it's been a long transition into the pros, and I feel he just needs to strike. Next 6 to 12 months. His dad in the corner with him. That's a good left hook. And he's got skills, hasn't he? You can see his ability.
Yeah, you can see whether he's fighting on the front foot, fighting on the back foot. He's sharp. I love the jab. Like I said, I don't think he's doing too much wrong. I'd like to see him perhaps turn the screw a touch more as we go into the 6th round. It'll be interesting to see if Vera Sanchez believes a little bit more. I feel like his belief's grown as the fight's gone on. As we go into the 6th, maybe some of them looping left hands might come with a little bit more confidence.
And final round.
Final round in the super welterweight division. Amar Akbar cruising towards victory number 9 against Eduardo Vera Sanchez, who's in his 16th outing. He's only won a couple, but he's always game and tough, and I think because of that activity, because he's been busy, his fitness and conditioning is good, and he's managed to fiddle his way through against a good fighter in Akbar.
Yeah, I think this could be the case of perhaps taking the 6 and taking the victory and walking away for Amar Akbar and team. He jumped whilst he threw that punch there, Vera Sanchez.
It's the first time this year we've seen Amar Akbar, and I would suggest we need to see him again before Christmas. I think it's important, this stop-start, no good for young professionals. The fighters that sort of tend to get 6, 8, even more in a year, and they're fighting almost every 6 weeks is so critical, isn't it?
Yeah, and just from here on in, if he banks the 6 like he will tonight, clean sweeps the 6, goes and has maybe 8 or 10, then he enters 2026 as a 10-0 professional. It sounds a lot better. There's a little bit of a sparkle to a 10-0 professional, and then you're ready for the title fights that we mentioned.
Yeah, it's a good point. Into double figures. And then 2026 has to be the year of elevation for Amar Akbar. Last minute of this one. Obviously got a feel for him on an anniversary like this, losing his brother, and it's always a time where his young brother will be in his thoughts and fighting in his memory. But it's a professional business, it's one that he's committed to. And he's got the skills. Just needs the activity and, as I mentioned earlier, maybe that sparkle that we can go home with him. Good-looking guy, good talker, good fan base, good jab. Lots to like about him, but another 6-rounder which just drifted and won't be the best fight of the night by a long way.
No, not the best of even the two that we've seen so far. Perhaps sometimes that little spike, that little sparkle comes from a domestic rival, someone who might sit opposite you at a press conference table and tell you what he thinks of you and ignite something inside you. Sometimes you don't get that when you're fighting unknown guys from around the continent, around the world. But look, 6 under the belt, and like I said, if he can have one more, enter 2026 as a 10-0 professional, then I'm sure we'll see some more exciting fights than we've seen just then.
Yeah, end of September. I'd like to see him back in end of November or December. Wherever it is, TV show or small hall, Amar Akbar needs to keep busy. But he's won everything, and Eduardo Vera Sanchez is still fresh in that corner. Well, he'll remain unbeaten. Let's hear it officially.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers. After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to John Latham's scorecard, which reads 60 points to 54 points in favor of your winner from Dewsbury, Yorkshire, the prodigy, Amar Akbar.
Well, the fans liked it. He notches up another victory, that's 9-0. But just being a little critical, there wasn't that dramatic performance that maybe he would have liked. However, inactivity, been out a while, gets the 6 rounds under his belt, but they have to move on with the prodigy.
Yeah, not as heavy metal as I'd have liked from the prodigy. Told you, Adam, I am here all night.
And we'll just keep lapping them up, Oscar.
Now look, on an emotional day for him and his family, he'll take the 6 rounds, he'll walk. But really, really important now that this isn't a 6 rounds that he looks back on for the next 6 months. It's a 6 rounds that he looks back on, having had 2 or 3 fights that follow.
A good left hook, that was probably the punch of the fight from Amar Akbar, and he quadrupled up the jab at one point, which I thought was really impressive. Switched to southpaw a little bit. Well, he gets the rounds in, looks in great shape, doesn't he? Just need a bit more, and I think he knows that as well. On we go. Aki, back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, 6 3-minute rounds sanctioned in the super lightweight division. Please welcome into the ring from Jalisco, Mexico, Canelito Benito Sanchez Garcia.
Canelito Sanchez Garcia, 32nd fight, and he's with Josh Whale, former British champion. There's Josh, and he was really up for it at the weigh-in yesterday, Garcia, so it'll be interesting to see how much ambition he has. 25-year-old and a Mexican who's found his way to Yorkshire.
And now please welcome his opponent from Doncaster, Yorkshire, Rees Mould.
One of the most popular fighters in recent times on the domestic level from South Yorkshire, it's Rees Mould, once a highly touted prospect, but he's lost 3 of his last 5, and that's engineered a big career move at the age of 30 to the Steel City gym. There's Pearce and Dalton and Grant with him, and it'll be interesting to see what that transfer has done for Rees Mould. He needs a good injection into his career. He's a lovely lad. You want to see him do well. Let's see the improvements that that team have made.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is presented to you by Izzy Azif and GBM Sports, and we are live worldwide on the home of boxing, DAZN. Your officials for this contest, timekeeper Chris Hancock, and your referee in charge of the action is A-star referee Reese Carter. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the silver shorts, he weighed in at 9 stone, 10 pounds and 1 ounce. He comes to the ring with 31 professional contests, including 17 wins and 3 draws, with 5 of his wins coming by way of knockout. De Jalisco, Mexico, Canelito, Benito Sanchez Garcia. And his opponent stands in the blue corner and wears the red and white shorts. He weighed in at 10 stone, 1 pound and 1 ounce, and comes to the ring with 20 wins against 4 defeats, with 6 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He is the fighting pride of Doncaster, Yorkshire, and a 2-weight English champion, Reese Mccomb.
Right, gentlemen, you professionals, you know the rules. Keep it clean, listen to me, and defend yourself at all times. Good luck, shake hands.
25th fight of Reese Mould's 9-year professional career, and one of the most important, I'd suggest. He needs to get back to winning ways, and quickly, in with Benito Abimelech Sanchez Garcia from Mexico, who's in fight number 32. He's won 17. Has been stopped a few times, so there's some vulnerability, and has lost his last 3, but Josh says he's tough and he's game, and he will always come to fight, and that's what Reese Mould really needs, I think. Someone in front of him who's going to be lively and competitive, coming off that very tight split loss to Luis Sylvester on the big Echo Power Stadium show earlier in the year. And he was gutted about that he just could ill afford another defeat at this stage, Reese.
Yeah, he would have had some really uncomfortable conversations with himself, Reese, about what he wanted to do in the sport, his future in the sport. You mentioned the close split decision loss to Luis Sylvester. He was caught cold and caught quickly by Ryan Walsh. He felt there was some unjust in his loss to Gary Cully, so the emotions that have come with them defeats have been so strong, so he would have had those hard conversations, and now he's back, and hopefully we've got a confident Reese, and one that can really, really kick on and achieve what he believes he should achieve in his career.
Pierce was telling me beforehand, the new trainer, that he expects Reese to box more tonight. Good work from Sanchez Garcia with those hooks. He's lively, and Reese Mould will have to get him under control. Good work on the inside. This is warming up already in the opening round. Could be a very, very good match, this.
Yeah, fast start. Both men throwing hard to the body early on. You can spot a Mexican a mile off. He could be a silhouette. I could not know his name, and I would know that he was Mexican just by the stance and the shots that he throws. It is one of the best styles in the sport.
Body shot from Mould, partially blocked by Canelito. Those silver trunks who looking to get in close, and they're both swapping, trading leather at close quarters in this first round, which is a really good one.
Yeah, good to see Canelito take centre ring. So he's here, and he's here for a fight.
Josh Well just gave me a wink at the weigh-in, as if to say, look, he'll bring fireworks. He'll bring the heat, the aggression, and let's see what Reese Mould has got at the age of 30. Off that defeat to Luis Silvestre. He'll test him here, and Canalito just felt maybe that he hurt him slightly back end of the first round. This was the round that Ryan Walsh took him out in this very arena in a dramatic statement, and as you said, Reece Mould had to come back from that. A good first 3 minutes for these fans here at the Cannon Medical Arena on this GBM show. Great matchup.
Yeah, levers being thrown and levers being landed. Most importantly, really entertaining. Opening 3 minutes. I mentioned about wanting people to go home and go, do you remember this man's performance tonight? Do you remember this fight tonight? And so far, 1 round in, this is heating up to be a real corker.
I thought Reece Mould maybe won the first minute 15, but I thought Sanchez Garcia came right back at him, possibly to pinch that opener. And that's what you want to see. Not the red corner giving away fights, the blue corner winning the home corner. This is a proper fight, and it will tell us about Reece Mould and this move over to Pearson Grant in the Steel City gym. This guy, I mean, Josh Ware was a tough fighter himself, and now he's looking after a new breed. It's Sanchez Garcia looking for victory number 18. Reece Mould looking for victory number 21. He's had a very stagnant part of his career, Mould. Watched by Josh Warrington. Maxie Hughes will be around somewhere, the 3 Musketeers. But he made the hard decision, Reece, to move out of that gym, out of Leeds and to Sheffield. That's a big, lovely right hand, and it's a big move, isn't it, at this stage with the 2 of them. I mean, the 3 Musketeers so close.
Yeah, moving out your comfort zone any stage of your career is a big move, but doing it when you're 24, 25 fights deep is something else. You mentioned about the jeopardy and something that we quite like seeing. Look, I'm not against the 60-54 and you can look good and you can impress, but it's that little bit of jeopardy that will actually teach us about what Reece Mould has left in the tank tonight.
Good defence, decent start to this second from Mould. Cheered as always by his lovely family. Daughters Nelly and Nancy always dressed up around the weigh-in and on fight nights. They're much loved in the British fight game, the Moulds. There's a lot of work in the local amateur clubs as well around the Doncaster area. But he's got his own professional career. This is his business, and it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's hard in the ring, but it's also hard out the ring. I actually sat next to Reece's partner for his Fight of the Year contender with Hamid Gaz, and believe me, the amount of that fight she watched behind her hands, it's a tough job in the ring, but being a supportive partner and mother to children as well is also such a tough job. I can see it just across the ring here, like you said, the Moulds, a big, well-respected and loved family in the sport of boxing.
Yep, she's always there by Reece's side, even in hospital when he had to take that defeat to Ryan Walsh. I was there for the Gary Cully night. I thought he was really unlucky. It was the night Katie Taylor got revenge over Chantel Cameron. An amazing night in Dublin. And I thought Reece was unlucky. But this happens in boxing. Sometimes you just got to get back. And this is what Reece Mould's doing. He was told to keep it up. I thought that was a decent body shot.
I don't think the Mexican himself thought that was too low either. Really good intent from Reece in this second round.
His namesake, Reece Carter, the referee, just want to get a bit high. That one was a little low, and maybe the ref didn't catch that, but they're swapping body shots or leather downstairs around that area. And there's some reddening around the right side of Reece Mould's body. He'll know he's been in a fight tomorrow morning. It's a better round for the Brit.
Yeah, I think someone needs to throw a body shot at some point in this.
Well, Reece Mould loves throwing body shots, and as you say, every Mexican does. And we're loving it. Real excitement, entertainment. Terrific fight, best fight of the night so far, and there's many, many more ahead on this cram-packed GBM night. It's what we love about it, Oscar. From start to finish, you get good action all the way through, at whatever level.
Yeah, how can you not love this arena's close quarters. There's going to be a real buzz and atmosphere in here tonight. There's a few fans in for some of the fighters we've seen on the undercard, but you just wait till a couple of hours time and this place is at simmering point and those fighters walk to the ring. It's going to be loud, the fighters are going to entertain. It's going to be a really, really special night.
He's again up off that red stool pretty early. Benito Sanchez Garcia with a fist pump for Josh Whale. He's in the 203rd round of a career that, like Reece Mould, started in 2016. These are hardened professionals and they both look in tip-top shape, and it's what we want to see here on the YouTube channel. Remember, at 7 o'clock we're on the DAZN app. We've got the likes of Ed Hardy, the farm boy, who's a stablemate of Reece Mould now. Shaq Thompson, Tycee Gallagher, Ellie Hellowell, Gradus Krause in his biggest test today against Scott Forrest, and Ben Crocker and Sean Mccomb. We've also got DAZN coming up after this. It's a plethora of exciting prospects and hardened professionals.
Yeah, if you're not joining us on the DAZN app later, then what are you doing? The name Gradus Krause is sending real shockwaves around the scene at the moment. He's one that I can't wait for later in the title fight speak for themselves.
Yep, I had a coffee with Peter Fury earlier this afternoon, and Peter has been helping to guide Gradus Krause, and Peter doesn't waste his time on fighters he's not interested in. He's known Gradus since he was a kid, and he believes that he's going to be fighting for world titles. And remember, he's only 7-0 next year. He's that hot on him.
Yeah, some of the names I've heard mentioned around Gradus, I know a certain Ben Whitaker was one that was flying around when we last saw Gradus perform in Hull. Really, really excited to see what he can do tonight.
They put him in with a cruiserweight in Scott Forrest, who's a very good amateur, only lost one as a pro. Forrest really up for that fight as well, looking in great shape himself, so that's a cracker later on. Meanwhile, good jab from Reece Mould. He's does the fundamentals well. Lost to Lewis Sylvester, Ryan Walsh, Gary Cully, and Lee Wood stopped him, but he's had some good wins. English champion in a couple of weights. Now in the super lightweight division, could probably get down to lightweight. This is a sort of marking time fight, but it's more than that because he needs a victory, and he's eking it out here. Mould, he's boxing well here in the third.
I think his boxing has looked the best in this third round. He slowed things down a bit. I think he's thinking a bit more about his shots and about the variation of his shots. You mentioned that defeat to Lee Wood. Again, it seems like I'm obsessed with these COVID bubbles, but that's when I first met Reece. He's one of the most down-to-earth, nicest guys you can meet, and I think he simplifies the sport. If you speak to him about his defeats, he knows that if he trains hard and wins, it's because he's trained hard and he's performed well. If he loses, he knows because it was because he just wasn't good enough.
You're right about Reece, but hang on a minute. I like Lee Wood a lot. I think he's a top bloke. He's a cracking guy. He Nottingham through and through. My eldest daughter just started uni there, and he said, don't worry, we'll look after her. I think so will Carl Froch. I think she'll be all right.
I think he will be all right if she can ring up Lee Wood and Carl Froch, and they'll turn up to any scene.
And look who is ringside. There is Gradus Krause with his dad. And watching some of the early action, he's so comfortable in his skin. Looks the part. And wait for his ring walk. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it. But Gradus Krause is box office from beginning to end.
Yeah, he looks like a superstar, doesn't he? He just exudes that aura of someone that has it. And that it is something that very few have.
The old-fashioned me thinks, I don't know if I really like fighters on the night coming in and watching the early stuff. Why aren't they sort of backstage getting ready? But I'll tell you what, more and more are doing it now. They're really relaxed and comfortable, and they know that their preparation's not quite yet, and why not? If it makes you tick, as obviously it does with Gradus, he wants to feel the occasion and soak up the atmosphere. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'll take you back to Sunderland, where I know you were ringside commentating for Pat Mccomb on his brilliant win last time out. I think maybe an hour and a half before ring walk, he was sitting ringside with his feet up.
He was indeed, and what a performance from Pat. Looking super sharp and laying a real statement down. I'd love to see him in with Connor Walker. That's a fight that I think just has excitement all over it. Really good Pat McCormack. I've said it there and I'll say it again. I think he's going to become a world champion if he keeps progressing under Ben Davidson in that way. Reece Mould in the second half of this 6th rounder in the super lightweight division from Doncaster. Got plenty of support here in Sheffield, now part of the Steel City gym.
I think one thing that's taken me by surprise is that this is only Canelito's 2nd fight this year. He fought a couple of weeks ago, lost to a prospect, but he looks like someone who's been active and is fit and sharp and not afraid to bring the heat to Reece tonight and see what he's made of.
Piers Gudgeon in the corner, barking out instructions to Reece Mould, and I think Reece is really improving round after round here. He's found his rhythm, he's settled. Yeah, good work again. Feet sharp. He's almost like his career's on the line here, Reece Mould. He knows it, and he's really concentrating on every second in there. It's good to see. Canelito trying to get one back in with these wild hooks, but less coming from the Mexican noticeably.
Yeah, I think walking through the doors of an arena and knowing it could be your last if things don't go your way makes you a very dangerous fighter.
I think it would be his last. I think a loss here, there's nowhere really to go, and Reece is a proud guy. I think he's made this switch. He needs a couple of quick comeback victories, and maybe 26 he can get in the British hunt again. Yeah, he switched on in the corner as well tonight. There's a freshness about Reece Mould, and listening, isn't he?
Yeah, listening to every word that Piers is telling him right now. I like what I've seen so far. There was an eagerness to engage early on. He's got back to his boxing, varied the tempo, thinking about his shots, going to the head, going to the body. Really good footwork too. I'm impressed with different aspects that I've seen from Reece tonight.
Round 5.
Third fight of the year for Benito Sanchez Garcia. As you were saying, Oscar, he was so busy in 2024. Got a couple of victories and a draw as well. Coming off a defeat to Dempsey Whale a couple of weeks ago. And he's got work to do if he's going to turn the tide on Reece Mould. I thought he nicked the first round, but it's been all Mould since then. Still dangerous with that left hook. Mould's got to be tight. The defense, the gloves have been good though so far from the Doncaster 30-year-old.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Whale putting out the feelers in the week and saying, just watch out, keep an eye. Makes me think that in this 5th round, and if we make it to the 6-2, that we might start to see him empty some of that tank. It looks like he's still fairly fresh and that he's still got a little bit in there, Canelito.
Neat combination from Reece Mould, showing us some of his old form here tonight. I know Izzy Asif, the promoter's got a soft spot for Reece. So many have, and no one wants to see him go on too long. Another defeat. And you wonder, but if he can just get 2 or 3 victories in a row and rebuild, and I'm sure there's a title shot in there. The Steel City Gym, they've got some really good fighters in there. Again, they wouldn't be wasting their time, would they? They've obviously seen something Reese a good fighter, and maybe they could just fine-tune him and give him an Indian summer in his early 30s.
Yeah, I was shocked when I walked into the Steel City recently to see Mr. Mccomb and saw Reese in the corner. I thought he might have been wearing a wire and passing information back to Team Bateson at one point. But he said to me, no, this is where I am. I feel comfortable. I feel happy. Again, not that he didn't feel happy where he was before, but just perhaps a new lease of life going into this, well, I presume, final stretch of his career.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Mccomb did fight one of the Musketeers in Josh Warrington? I thought Conlon was really good that night against poor Jack Bateson, who never got into it and then had that bad injury. We wish Jack well, one of the nicest guys in the sport. But it's Conlon who goes on. I thought he looked really good in Dublin. I know you were there commentating that night, and I'd love to see him in another big fight in New York. Good work from Reese Mould here. Body shots. Canalito just sucks in some air, and this is impressive from Reese. He's got better and better as the fight's gone on, and looking strong now.
I think he might be smelling a little bit of blood. He's sensing that there could be a spectacular finish. Only 10 seconds left of this round, and lovely left of the body.
Has been stopped a few times before, more back in the day, Sanchez Garcia, but he's feeling it now, and he has to suck it up. Excellent round for Reese Mould.
You might see me in a Lambo, Campbell Snap, Rambo, 500 horses, Django, two chicken, and you might see me in a Ferrari, old school fella, Atari, it's a new dance, no tango, anywhere I go, I make the tango.
The Mould family out ringside. I'm not sure where Nelly and Nancy are. Maybe they're tucked up in bed. They're not normally. They're normally somewhere around. They must be the most beautifully dressed daughters of any fighter. Have you seen them, some of the outfits? It's absolutely terrific.
I think they make their own competition of who can dress the best, the mum or the girls.
Yeah. Final round for Reese. In with Benito. Garcia. 55 fights between them, these two rock-hard professionals. First round was really lively, and Sanchez Garcia won it for me. And I wondered if that would be the pace they kept at, but Reese Mould's boxed really well through the rest of it. And there's that body shot again, creeping through. I think you'll have a grandstand finish from Garcia if he could just suck it up and go for it. But these body shots are good from Mould. 6 knockouts on the record. He'd love a late stoppage here. But even if he doesn't find it, it's been a good performance. There's the body shots. Well, again, maybe being warned for one straying low.
We've got to watch what we're doing, okay? Just stay there for me.
Well, the ref say he appreciates what Reese is trying to do, but just a tad low there. See Reese itching to get back to centre ring and carry on this fight.
Yeah, he's used his feet well tonight, Reese Mould, to get in and out of range. Look at that, very nice. Just won't let Sanchez Garcia get settled in any way, really. Game and sprightly, as we expected he would be, Canalito, but Reese Mould just had the class here tonight. And he's had to go back to the drawing board a bit, ask himself a few questions after that defeat to Luis Silvestre. We wondered whether we would see Reese Mould. I know he contemplated walking away after the Ryan Walsh fight. He had a sort of warm-up win, and then he had the loss to Silvestre, but they've obviously chatted about it. The Steel City are behind him. And if this is the new Reese Mould, I don't know, 3.0, 4.0, whatever he is now, I like it.
Yeah, there's some juice in that tank for sure. I'm delighted that Reece didn't decide to walk away from the sport. I think he's looked really good tonight. Like I said, there's the different aspects of his game that he showed that really impressed me. He's been eager to engage. He's thought about the shots that he's thrown. I thought he's counter-punched well also.
Jimmy Joe Flint just taking his seat at ringside to add to the variety of boxers that are here at the Cannon Medical Arena. Last 15 seconds of what's been a really good workout this for Reece Mould. A fight that he absolutely had to win, and he's boxed better and better as the rounds have gone, and why not have a wry smile at the end of it and a tongue out. You boxed well tonight, Reece Mould. He's had some disappointing evenings of late, but that was a good one, and it's good for British boxing to have Reece Mould in that sort of form. Look at the smile there from Grant Smith. They know what this means to him this particular night.
Yeah, like I said, there's some juice left in that tank, and I know that if he's coming back to title fights, he'll be doing it with a vengeance. He hasn't been happy about the manner and the emotion around the defeats that he's had in the professional game, but I can imagine a performance like that, one more, and then we'll have a really, really exciting 12 to 18 months that follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers. After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to Reece Carter's scorecard, which reads 60 points to 54 points in favor of your winner from Doncaster, Yorkshire, Reece Mould.
Josh Warrington clapping, Izzy Asif as well. Reece Mould gets the much-needed victory, and he won every round on Reece Carter's card. I thought that maybe Sanchez Garcia pinched the first, but Reece Mould boxed really well tonight. Reece and Pearce, the new team. Pearce is becoming one of the hottest sort of co-trainers, I guess, in the business. Grant Smith gets the applause, but this guy behind the scenes, he looks after Ed Hardy as well, so we'll see him back shortly. But yeah, Canelito brought the heat, but Reece brought the ability, didn't he, tonight?
Yeah, I'm just, more importantly than anything, happy to see a smile on Reece's face. He's going to learn a ton from that move to Steel City and keep going on about what we could get in those 12 to 18 months. You get Reece Mould with a fire in his belly, and I think it's going to be something entertaining for one and special for two.
Victory was sweet for Reece Mould, and there's life in the old dog yet. Back to Aki.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our next contest. 6 3-minute rounds sanctioned in the super middleweight division. Please welcome into the ring first from Pitești, Romania, Marius Mihai Dumitru.
Marius Mihai Dumitru, who's coming at fairly short notice. He's a light heavyweight. It's a big guy for Taz Nadeem to deal with, but deal with him he should.
And now please welcome his opponent from Rotherham, England, Taz the Butcher Nadeem.
What a most popular young sportsman in the area, Rotherham's Taz Nadeem, former CrossFit champion. He was in the world's top 3, and he was in Britain's top 3 as a weightlifter as well, but he was a boxer first and foremost, and he's returned to that art, and so far we've seen 6 victories and 3 big knockout wins for the Butcher. If you haven't seen him, well, you won't miss him when he comes through here, because Oscar, he is some specimen.
Yeah, he's an absolute unit. Let's get it right. The size of his back, the size of his shoulders just shows that he can lift weights, and he might be one of the best CrossFitters in the world. But I will say one thing. You get this man into the ring, he's aggressive and he's vicious. And I think we're going to see that again tonight.
Just seeing the legs there and the broad shoulders, the thick set of the fabulously conditioned Taz Nadeem, looking for his 7th victory. He's due a knockout. He's got knockout points, knockout points, knockout points. He says this will be all over within the 6-round distance.
Well, I know the last time that he was here, it ended in 90 seconds in the Cannon Medical Arena, so I'm sure we'll hope to do the same again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is presented to you by Izzy Azif and GBM Sports, and we are live worldwide on the home of boxing, DAZN. Your officials for this contest, timekeeper will be Anthony Rushton, your referee is Mark Downing, and scoring at ringside is John Latham. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner and wearing the blue shorts. He weighed in at 12 stone, 9 pounds and 3 ounces, and comes to the ring with 5 professional contests, and he comes to us from Pitești, Romania. Please welcome Marius Mihai Dumitru. And his opponent across the ring fights out of the blue corner and wears the green shorts. He weighed in at 12 stone, 9 pounds and 9 ounces. He is unbeaten with 6 wins and no losses, and 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. He comes to us from Rotherham, Yorkshire. Please welcome the hard-hitting Taz the Butcher Nadeem.
Right, boys, you both know the rules. A good, clean fight. Listen to my instructions and make sure you protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, back to your corners.
One of the most exciting super middleweight prospects in the country, Taz Nadeem, and a win here puts him into the Heist tournament, which is on November the 8th in Hull. The 12-stone boys, 8 fighters, quarters, semis, final. Should be a brilliant night. And I know his coaching team want Taz Nadeem to send a statement to those other fighters looking to win the Heist. Big prize of 25 grand on November the 8th, the next GBM night on DAZN. So let's see what Nadeem can do here against Marius Mihai Dumitru, who's a natural light heavyweight, really. They both weighed in on the night. Reason, it's the 4th choice opponent for Taz Nadeem. He's had a really tricky build up to this, not knowing who would be in the opposite corner, but sometimes you sort of feel he doesn't really care.
Yeah, this isn't doing my self-esteem any good knowing I weigh 8 pounds less than Taz Nadeem and he's carved from stone. He looks the part, big, thick set, upstairs, big trunk legs too. Like I said, it's that spite, that kind of vicious switch that he's got that has really endeared him to boxing fans and those around GBM so far. So looking forward to seeing him hopefully do more of the same.
Body shot from Nadeem. Dumitru's in fight number 6. He's won 1, and of the 4 losses he has been stopped, which probably doesn't bode well against somebody who hits with such authority. Ruthless, really, Taz Nadeem, particularly when he's got his man in trouble. But also learning the craft too. He's been sparring with Callum Simpson, which is really impressive. Callum with us tonight, the European, British and Commonwealth super middleweight champion, who I watched spar with Carl Davis in the week. He just hurt his leg, I think, there, Dimitri. Didn't need that with Taz Nadeem in front of him. Good body shot as well. He's in trouble here, and Taz Nadeem's going to be all over him inside the last minute of the first round. Lots of problems here for Marius Mihai Dimitru. He looks injured, he looks shocked. Not sure what his corner are thinking, but you've got Taz Nadeem in front of you. You need to be fully fit and fully focused. He's cut as well. He's fighting on instinct a bit here, Dimitru, and Nadeem could be in for another quick finish.
Yeah, this is not the time for your body to give up on you when Taz Nadeem is stalking you to every corner of this ring.
Well, they're shouting at him from the red corner, the Romanian. Damaged by the left eye. Something seemed to go as well. Maybe a problem with a thigh or something twitched, but let's have a look at as he walks back to his corner. But he's, yeah, that right leg I think's problematic. I wonder if they're going to send him back out for more.
Regardless of what we've seen, and the discomfort that we've seen from the away corner, I'm really impressed with Taz Nadeem. We mentioned, Adam, there's so many prospects on the circuit. Be the one that stands out. And so far, Taz Nadeem has done that, and he gets in this ring, and there's just pure intent. It's destruction on the mind from minute one, from second one. And the discomfort really doesn't bode well going into round two.
Well, whether that was a slip or some sort of jar, it's bruising by the left eye. It was a big round for Taz Nadeem. Jamie Kennedy, Killer Khan in there, and Taz Nadeem really is a force. We gave him the nickname of the Butcher. Izzy and I had a bit of an argument about it. He wanted him the Monster, but the Butcher stuck, because that's what Taz has been, both in and out of the ring. The dark green trunks. And he said, that's just the bell goes, because one of the advertising hoardings for DAZN, our own channel, 185 fights a year, just giving a quick promo for DAZN.
185, that's not bad.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
Yeah, almost every other day there's something, isn't there? Bare knuckle fight tonight with James DeGale, and also live here from the Cannon Medical Arena, another grimace from Marius Mihai Dimitru. I'm just not sure how much longer that big light heavyweight body's going to hold up under this force from Nadeem.
Yeah, it looks as if the shot's coming back at Taz Nadeem, wants to try and just warn him off rather than really lay down any law.
Again, wincing in pain. Right hand to the head, Taz Nadeem, who's telling me in the week that he just feels he could have excelled in any sport, just naturally fit and strong and so dedicated.
And with clear self-belief, too.
Massive self-belief, and he really was an absolute star in the CrossFit world. He had a problem with his nose as a young boxer, was a good young amateur, so he decided to switch sports, but he found his way back to his first love. How far can he go? Good effort this from Dimitru, trying to chuck out the punches, but walks into another one with Nadeem, and he might not have the power to keep the Butcher off him. Just occasionally gets a bit gung-ho though, doesn't he, Taz Nadeem? Remember down in York Hall for a second pro fight. Didn't get that quick win and just had to learn how to pace himself. All an education, isn't it?
Yeah, having such intent can come at a cost. You need to match that intent with composure, something you mentioned earlier as well when it comes to Reece Mould in that first round. It's right, look, the intent's there, you want to throw, you want to land, but also take a step back, realise where you are, realise what your opponent's bringing to the table, and make sure that when you're throwing and landing, it's something that comes with meaning rather than throwing punches for the sake of punches.
Good work from the Romanian, who's come in at late notice, but he's giving it a go, despite the fact it looked like his body was deserting him. Great effort.
I think if you'd have asked me 3 minutes ago, I wouldn't have expected that 3 minutes later we'd be heading towards round 3.
Good jab to the body from DAZN. Callum Simpson has just arrived at ringside, and he wants DAZN to go back and spar with him. That's really good signs for the youngster, isn't it?
Well, Callum Simpson has done rounds with Artur Beterbiev. He doesn't get much better than that. So if you get the call from Callum Simpson, hey, come back, let's spar, let's do more rounds, let's shut the gym doors and get to work, it can only be a really good sign. Good to see Callum, as always, one of the nicest. I feel like it's a theme. Maybe everyone in boxing is just pretty nice.
Callum's really lovely, and he's always at different shows up and down the country. Signed to Boxer, of course, but you see him at Queensbury, you see him at Matchroom, you see him at GBM. He's a big supporter as well of the local talent. And, yeah, one of the nicest guys and most marketable guys in the sport.
You see him in the away corner a couple of times too. He's held some spit buckets over the last few months.
Like Dalton Smith does, you know, cut from the same cloth, and really good to see, you know, top fighters helping others out and maybe laying some foundations for a future beyond the sport as well, beyond their careers, managers, trainers, all of that, and all good experience.
He's also very annoyingly good at paddle.
Is he?
Very good. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from an elite level athlete, but I will tell you, him and one of his friends took me and Charlie to the cleaners in Riyadh about 9 months ago, and he hasn't let me forget.
Probably not difficult taking you and Charlie to the cleaners. Where is Charlie tonight? Oh, a nice, looked like a little shot there, but maybe a stumble. Down he goes. Brave, isn't he, Dimitru?
Yeah, I'm surprised the fight has made it this far when we think about the discomfort that he was in earlier, when it seemed like he might have jarred or
now
slipped in his
DAZN
right
slips,
knee.
yep, slips on the water in the red corner. Yeah, that's not good. Fighters don't need that. Seem to dry up the canvas. A tough enough sport as it is. Sometimes see the boots that haven't been scorched properly and slipping and sliding around the ring, but you've got to mop up the water. Here comes DAZN again. It's actually turned into quite a good fight, surprisingly.
Yeah, he stood up to what Taz has brought in the second and third round, throwing shots back of his own. You mentioned how tough of a sport it is. One thing you don't need to do is be doing it on ice skates, especially against someone like DAZN who's consistently stalking you. I'm not sure there hasn't been a time where he hasn't been on the front foot for the last 8 or 9 minutes.
And there's the smile this time from Dimitru. Yeah, we're going to have a Ukrainian opponent. And the junior ABA champion, former guy, was in Walid Adam, and then another. This is the 4th one, so that's tough for DAZN's team. Keep him switched on. Also knows that he's got this heist tournament in a few weeks' time and desperate to impress.
Yeah, desperate to impress, and also desperate not to get a nick, get a cut, get an injury, yet still he's intent on going forward and making things happen in this fight.
That's a really good point, Oscar. He's got to come out of this unscathed or he's out of that tournament. I mean, I think he'd be quite good fun in the tournament though, wouldn't he? Wow, 3 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, can you be made for tournament boxing?
We saw some of the others doing some promotional work up here this week when GBM launched their new Under the Spotlight, which was fantastic. And Mark Dickinson was there. Really good to see Mark off that terrific fight in Sunderland the other night. Walked into that big shot, didn't he? But he's bouncing back, and Sam Jones has slung him into the heist. So I think he's made for it as well. And his uncles won the prize fighters, didn't they, at light heavy and cruiserweight? John Lewis and Travis. So Mark Dickinson will think he'll get his paws on the 25 grand on November the 8th. I wonder if Taz Nadeem will be part of the party. Got to get through this first. Second half of this super middleweight contest against Marius Dimitru. 7th fight for Taz Nadeem. He's won all 6. And the 6th for Marius Dimitru, who's coming at just 48 hours notice. That's what these fighters do. It's really good. They save shows, and all credit to him. He looked like he was injured in that first round, but he's dusted himself down and he's come out for more.
Yeah, they're the lifeblood of the sport, these fighters, and it would have been easy for him to not come out for round 2, and he'd have still got the pay packet at the end of the night, but he's bought the heat, stood there, sucked it up, taken what Taz Nadeem's thrown at him. I will say one thing, Adam, you've got me really excited for the heist. No?
I tell you what, it's going to be a good night. I mean, those prize fighters back in the day, Boxer had some tournaments as well, but this is the first for a while, and I believe the first on DAZN as well. Well done, Izzy and the team. Hull's a great arena as well. November the 8th, the date for your diaries. Taz Nadeem believes he'll walk through everyone. He said he's going to knock everyone out, and then he came off the promo, and he didn't realise Mark Dickinson and one or two of the others were sitting there in the audience, and I think he walked rather sheepishly past them. We don't know who's going to be fighting who. The draw's on the day. I think Izzy's going to get some knockout bonuses and all sorts, so yeah, it'll be a fun night.
One thing I do know is that if you're to win that tournament, there'll be some big names on the CV. There'll be big career progression after. There'll be a nice big 25,000 landing in the bank account. So that will be an exciting night on November the 8th.
Yep, Steve Woodall. I know S.A. Smith's in it, I think. It'll be a really good night. This will be a good night. Stay with us. Good fights on YouTube, but wait to join us at 7 o'clock on the DAZN app. Just a reminder, we've got the farm boy, Ed Hardy, whose parents have just dropped off some produce, as they normally do, before each of his fights, which we're very thankful for. Shaquille Thompson returns undefeated in 14. We've got Tycee Gallagher, Ellie Hallowell, really good fight for the ladies, and Gladys Krause in a step up against Scott Forrest before the main event, which is Ben Crocker undefeated against Sean Mccomb, one of the best light welterweights in the world, and down goes Marius Dimitru, just under the constant pressure really from Taz Nadeem. He looks in his corner to do well to get through this bit. The bell's going to come soon. He's just about all right to carry on. This is Nadeem's moment. He swings and misses. Is the bell going to save Dimitru? It does. And he gets through it somehow. He's relentless, Taz Nadeem.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was the bell that saved Dimitru. I think that shot landed just a nanosecond after he heard that bell, but Dimitru stood up to it. His corner was fuming when he got dropped there, threw the towel onto the floor. I think it was a shot that was pretty preventable, really, but yeah, you said when Taz Nadeem's got a fighter hurt, you can smell blood, and perhaps he smelled a bit too much there. A wild swing once Dimitru rose, but I'm sure that he'll have bad intentions going out for the 5th.
And there is Callum Simpson, undefeated, selling out Oakwell, isn't he, or in large parts of that stadium. The Barnsley crew that he's got chatting to Josh Warrington. Callum, I'm sure we'll be back before Christmas on a BBC show. That'll be some exposure for him. The new Boxer deal that kicks off October the 25th. We got a big night on DAZN that night, seeing Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley meet, locking horns at the O2. Cannot wait for that one.
Oh, I can't wait. I spoke to Joseph Parker a couple of weeks ago at the launch press conference, and he said to me, I'm not underestimating Fabio Wardley. He is, and percentage-wise, it's factual, the biggest puncher I've ever entered the ring with. So he knows the threat that will be coming back from the Ipswich man. That is going to be an absolute cracker.
Justice Hooney will tell you how hard Fabio Wardley hits. He was winning almost every minute of every round, but it was all she wrote. One right hand, and that's what Fabio Wardley can do and brings to the heavyweight table. Joe Parker in need of a fight. Really good one. A cracking night expected at the O2. Into the 5th round here, Taz Nadeem. Have Marius Dimitru down in the 4th. Can he finish him off here? He'd like to.
Stop boxing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the tempo's slowed a little bit, dipped a touch at the start of this 5th round from Taz. Not sure if he's feeling the effects of his own pressure.
I've got to say, sometimes we don't give these journeymen enough credit, but this Dimitru has sucked it up. He didn't need to do this at 48 hours notice. He could have sat it out after a round or two, but he stood up to some heavy onslaughts from Taz Nadeem. And he looks now as though he wants to try somehow to get through to the final bell so he can fight in the next couple of weeks, because remember, if he gets stopped, he can't fight for a month. Certainly not here.
Well, look, there'll be matchmakers out there watching this fight tonight and probably wanting to send and fire over a few messages to Dimitru about future fights. So this showing of heart, showing of courage will have done him and his career in the away corner the world of good. Trying to explore the options as well going forward. Throwing one up through the guard of Taz Nadeem.
Just frustrated here, Taz Nadeem now. Getting valuable rounds. I think he probably felt that he'd have his man out of there by now. Again, another left hook, and you can see how he's got that vicious streak in him. Downstairs to the body. He wants this stoppage win. Back into the 5th. Down he goes again. And again, his trainer just puts his hands up. I'm not sure he can get through it. He bravely gets to his feet. 10 seconds before the bell. Reece Carden did the right thing there. Izzy Asif applauds. Taz Nadeem does get his 4th stoppage win. It's 7 on the spin in terms of fights won. He remains undefeated. He gets rounds in. He gets the stoppage he wants, and he books his place in the heist, and we want him there.
We want him there. Correct. You said it, Adam. It was knockout points, knockout points, knockout points. Delivered us the knockout once again. Really, really entertaining, Taz Nadeem. Every time he steps through the ropes, you cannot move your eyes away from the ring.
And Izzy Asif has gone to the away corner of Marius Dimitru to say well done, because he'd have him back, I think, after that performance. He gave it everything, didn't he, the brave Romanian? But it was Taz Nadeem's constant pressure and his power that won him the fight and gets him that stoppage. Down twice, Dimitru, and the Butcher gets another knockout victory. He's going to be a handful for anyone in the heist.
Yeah, anyone who's in the heist tournament that's been taking a look at the show tonight and seen that from Taz Nadeem will know that if they do draw him, they're going to have to be on their A game.
And I wonder if Callum Simpson, who's in the ring there as well, will have Taz back for sparring just before that. That would be very useful, wouldn't it? Because there'll be some much taller fighters, all shapes and sizes, booked in for the heist. But we've got On the Edge, the GBM show, to get through. Taz Nadeem wins by stoppage.
Yeah, good to see the pair hug it out. I know that Taz Nadeem will respect the heart and courage shown by Dimitru.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both boxers. Your referee, Mark Downing, waves this contest off. Official time, 2 minutes and 51 seconds of round number 5. Therefore, your winner by TKO, Taz the Butcher Nadeem.
Well done to Marius Dimitri for the part he played in that, but it's DAZN that goes on. He's still undefeated now, 7-0 for the intelligent, popular man from Rotherham, who will be added to the tournament show on November the 8th, and he'll have a real chance in there. There's Callum Simpson, part of our broadcast team, and you can join us very shortly on the DAZN app. As Callum and Taz have the picture for the photographers at ringside here at the Cannon Medical Arena, and this is what we've got to look forward to tonight. The farm boy kicks us off just after 7 o'clock. Shaquille Thompson, one of the most dangerous middleweights around, is back against Grant Dennis. Ticey Gallagher, Ellie Hellawell, British Commonwealth and WBO International Super Bantamweight titles on the line. Good fight that. Then Gradis Kraus, who Oscar was mentioning earlier, one of the most dangerous prospects around from Holland, in with Scott Forrest, one of our best amateurs of recent years. And then the big one, Ben Crocker and Sean Mccomb. Really interesting clash of styles for the IBF European Super Lightweight Championship. It's a fantastic night ahead, live on DAZN, on the app. Join us just at 7 o'clock, so about 8-9 minutes for you to go get some refreshments and then come back, because it's going to be one night here to remember. On the Edge, live on DAZN.